So in the first part, we took a look at what clients want and need. Now we're going to look at the more practical solutions on how you can improve your client conversations. So first of all, let's get down to basics. What's the first thing accountants can do to prepare?
I think the most fundamental preparation that anyone can do in any business, and especially in accountancy, is really thinking about why you're in business. And I'll explain that a bit more. It's very easy as a business owner, as an accountant, to run a company and you know what you offer. You know your product, you know your service inside out. You even know how you do it. And we spend a lot of time talking to clients about that. And we try and use that to differentiate ourselves. But the challenge is that's often very similar between one accountant and another. What I've found that a lot of accountants don't do is really focus on why they do what they do. And what I mean by that is it really about their belief, what their cause is. Why are they in business? If you can attach a belief that you have to a belief that your clients will also have, then you're instantly starting on the same path. So for example, as opposed to talking about being an accountant who can deliver tax returns, that would be what you can do. And you do it by having monthly updates, whatever that might be. That's the what you do and how you do it. But actually, if you started a conversation saying, as an accountant, I believe that my role is to help you make the best business decisions to move your company forward. It's very unlikely that the person listening to you is going to disagree with that, but instantly they know you're going in the same direction. So understanding why you're there as an accountant and what your belief is, and stating that and driving towards that with every communication you have, makes you again stand out and be different from everyone else and get the trust and again belief from your clients.
And how important is it to connect to who you're speaking to, and how can you do this?
More important than it ever has been, actually. A lot of research into this about how important individuals are to themselves. It's very obvious to say, but actually it isn't so much about the company for a lot of people who are choosing to use you or not. A lot of clients actually, they want help as a person. Connecting to them personally and to what they care about is absolutely imperative. Something that a lot of accountants will do is they will look at each client as though they're just another client and as a number. And as a person, you want to be dealt with individually. So something that accountants can really spend their time doing is thinking about that person they're going to be speaking to. And you only really have to do this once every couple of months, but just thinking, what results do they care about, or are they likely to care about? What challenges are they likely to be up against? What concerns will they have? How are they likely to make their decisions? And let's get into their shoes. What does their role look like? Because if you can do that before you go into the conversation, the communication, it allows you to really connect and empathize and talk in a language that's going to make more sense to them. Just on the connecting bit, there's one other thing that's really important in terms of connecting, and I know this isn't what you meant, but connecting the dots between your understanding of client needs and what they want and what's going to help and what is actually going to help them. Connecting those dots is so important as well. Being intelligent and always listening, properly listening for what's happening in that business, and always thinking, how can I help?
Okay, and what about preparing for specific conversations? How can one do that?
There's a lot of preparation you can do, and you can over-prepare. Fundamentally, it needs to be exactly that, a conversation. It's two-way, you're two people. Yes, it's business, but it's still two people. And I think the best preparation you can do, apart from thinking about getting in their shoes, like I mentioned before, is knowing where you want to get to in the conversation. I see it so regularly that we have business conversations and they just turn into nothing. They don't get anywhere. There's no actions afterwards. And from a client's point of view, they might come out of that thinking, why did I have that conversation? What did I get from it? And again, from an accountant's point of view, if we're not going in knowing what good looks like, what we want to come out with, how on earth will we know if we've got there? How can you know where to get to, what the next step is? So really thinking about who is that client, where is reasonable for me to get to in this conversation, and how do I do it? Simple as that, but it makes a difference.
So drawing on your experience of working with firms in this area, what are the biggest mistakes that people can make here?
I think one I alluded to before, which is forgetting that you're talking to an individual, thinking you're just talking to a company, or worse, thinking you're just talking to a number, another client. to themselves, every single person is the most special person in the world, and you've got to appreciate and care about that with every conversation. So just reminding yourself of that makes a big difference. The other, I think, maybe trick that people miss, so I suppose is a mistake, is realising the importance of these continual communications to the client and the benefit it can give. But with that in mind, missing the opportunity to schedule them in. Make it part of your offering. Prepare by saying, every 2 months, we're going to diarise in 20 minutes to talk through your business, find out what's working, find out what challenges you've got, and share ideas as to how we can get you even better results. Schedule that in. It's something that clients will really grasp onto as soon as they see the value once. They'll want it over and over again. For you, it's an opportunity every single time to offer different solutions. It's very easy to set up, very easy to forget about, but if you do it, it makes a massive difference.
So we've had some practical tips on how to prepare. In the next video, we're going to look at how you can actually run the conversation.